Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Hey, today I just want to do a little conversation with you about COLA, the cost of living increase that we are going to see established here in the coming months. So October is when it will come out. They will use the data from September, August, and July of this year in order to calculate the figures to establish a COLA, cost of living adjustment, an increase for Social Security recipients. Now, recently, and I just did a video on it, the legislation has been passed for the VA to adopt the same COLA as Social Security. Now, this is what I want to talk to you about. I'm going to front load it a little bit here on this one because, people don't watch the full video sometimes. They trickle off at the end. The Senior Citizens League has issues with how Social Security computes the data in order to come up with a cost of living adjustment. Their issue is, in a nutshell, look, you're using CPI data, which is everybody, right? It's the whole nation's kind of the cogs all working together and figuring it out, right, where your CPI data falls. But the majority of recipients of Social Security are going to be your retirees, your senior citizens, right? Who have a different spending habit and rely on different things and are affected by different things than the general public as a whole. And their argument is that essentially there should be a different mechanism to calculate COLA. It shouldn't just be based off of the CPI data and the other things that are used to calculate it. It should be a little more dialed in and specific to those that are receiving these types of benefits that do receive a COLA, cost of living adjustment. Now, my idea here is, well, look, I'm full of ideas, right? We'll just leave it there. A couple versions in my mind are, we as a veteran community need to also take a look at how COLA is calculated and does it make sense for us? I've always kind of been a little bit put off by the fact that the VA, with our cost of living adjustments for clothing allowance, disability compensation, and dependency indemnity compensation, our cost of living adjustments for these veteran benefits and surviving spouse benefits aren't, one, automatically, COLA is just an automatic thing. Every year it has to get voted for. And two, we don't have our own version of calculating our COLA. We just use Social Security's numbers in order to figure it out. So my idea here is, one, should we, and this is just a question, I don't know, right? There's way more smarter people out there than me. So, but an idea is, should we as a veteran community work with the Senior Citizens League to work on a way to calculate COLA increase, right? Our cost of living adjustment and increase in our benefits a different way, and work with Congress to make that happen, right? Get some sort of action on that. Or now the positive to that is that there's more numbers, right? So what does everybody worry about? Look, if you got enough people complaining about the same thing, those are a bunch of potential voters for you who, if you do the right things, you're going to have voters. If you don't, you're going to have people voting against you. So our bite will be stronger with the more of us that we have. So if we lump in Senior Citizens League and veterans collectively, that's a big number. The other option is, do we try to sever ourselves away from the Social Security Administration's data and just go on our own and talk with Congress about the fact that our needs are different than what CPI data shows, and our cost of living adjustments should not be a reflection of that. My blue light, love it. So we need to figure out a direction. There needs to be a group of some of the smart ones of us, right, getting together to kind of kick that ball around. And then when we figure out the right method, and it might not be either one of those, right, but this just gets the juices flowing. Once we come up with the right angle, then we collectively need to lobby for it, right? We lobby as individuals at the grassroots constituency level to your local office of your congressional elected officials. And then your VFWs, American Legions, paralyzed veterans, all that stuff will lobby on the Hill for us. And maybe, just maybe, we can affect some change. Maybe, just maybe, we can get it to happen a little better than it's been. But if we don't squawk, right, the bird that's not squawking is not going to get fed, right, that baby bird. So we need to, while we have the numbers, make sure that we lean forward and create actionable items that we can actually take to our congressional electeds and hold them accountable to make things right. Because we can all agree that the way that it's working now isn't right. This doesn't feel right. The COLA, cost of living adjustments, do not equate to the pain that we feel financially. And the whole purpose of the disability compensation is to help bridge that gap for our earning capacity, right? So your bum knee, your broken back, you're this, you're that, you can't push yourself as hard as you used to, your brain is a little fogged, whatever it is, this disability compensation is supposed to be there to help bridge that gap for you. Do you feel like it is? Do you feel like it's taking you to where you should be? Do you feel like you're living the way that you should? Most of us are going to say no, right? And if you're one of those that say yes, then great, but take an increase and then donate that money if you don't need it, right? Put it to a good cause, put it to a good use. All I'm saying is that collectively, I think that we can work toward a better COLA, a better increase per year, either working with the Social Security Administration the way that they are, but working with the Senior Citizens League to help format a new way to calculate the cost of living through Social Security, in which then we still would mirror, or we move away from the Social Security Administration completely and we work out our own way through the Department of Veterans Affairs to establish its own way of calculating cost of living increases for us on an ongoing basis. And again, look, I'm not the smartest one out there, and I'm never going to say that I am. So hopefully there's somebody out there watching that can maybe kick this ball around a little bit, and let's have some dialogue and see if there's a way that we can do it. And I'm telling you, I think that we can get something to move if there's enough of us that can jump on board. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.